It is oftentimes very frustrating when you want to build a landing page, but then you open up Figma and you don't know where to start. Well, in this video, I'll walk you through the 4-step process that I use to create a high converting landing pages for my clients. This is the exact same process that I've been using for hundreds of my clients in the past 6 years, and they have worked tremendously. You don't have to take my word on this. I have many different reviews and testimonials from my past clients saying that they have positive results from this process. Now talking about the first process, the discovery call. Everything basically starts with a conversation. Before I work with any client, I make sure to hop into a call with them to discuss exactly what they're struggling with and the problems that they're currently facing. Do they have a low sales with their current landing page? Do they hate how their landing page currently looks? Or maybe they just need a general auditing help with the landing page. And before the call even happens, I make sure to take my time to study their business and to analyze their landing page. I will then note down any major mistakes that I see, like bad messaging, weak CTAs, or confusing layouts. This not only helps me prepare for the call, but also helps build trust along the way as well. Because now I can speak much more confidently about their site, providing much more value, without sounding like I'm just throwing shade for no reason. And overall, it just helps me be more prepared for the call that we'll be having and allows us to have a much more proactive conversation about what problems my potential client might be having and how I could solve it for them. Because in the end of the day, they have a problem that they want me to solve. And once that's done, we begin process number 2, which is the research process. And this is where the real work begins. I will then onboard my client and I'll send them a list of detailed questions that they need to answer so that it will help me better understand their business. Because mainly what I really want to know is I want to know what their main offer is, what the pain points that their customers have, what makes their solution unique, who are their competitors, and what's their company history. For example, recently I actually worked with an email marketing agency. Their offer is very simple: 90 qualified leads in 90 days or your money back guarantee. Their target audience, well, B2B SaaS and service-based businesses with 10 or more employees. And the problem that my customers is having is mainly no time to generate leads, inconsistent or unqualified leads, and basically having many unqualified leads. Asking these questions and understanding their business will not only make it easier for me to generate a copy, but can also make a copy that resonates with their target audience. And once I get all of this information and I understand their whole business, writing a copy that speaks directly to the target audience became much more easier. Because once you really understood the business, where they're coming from, their offer, their value, and their pain points, everything else basically becomes much more easier. And then we'll get to our next process, which is probably one of the most important process out of all of these, will be the copywriting process. Once I've done the research, I basically compile all of this information into different separate sections on the landing page. For example here, this is basically how it all looks like. So we have the hero banner here, we have our main headline, we have the sub headline with many different options. We also got the testimonials area here, and then we got a video demo, and we have the logo section here to list out the different logos and the different clients that my clients have worked with. And in here I list out the client stories section, basically showcasing our testimonials and the success stories that my clients have with his clients. And then we have the problem section to sort of list out what their target audience is struggling with. And then the next section will be the solution section and listing out the different benefits of working with him. And then we also have our 4-step process for his business. Typically, this ranges from 3 to 5 steps max. So in here, we have email infrastructure, lead list, email scripting, and lead management. And next, we have the experience and the statistics section. This basically helps more with showcasing what the company is capable of. And then we also have the case study section here to sort of show proof that we can actually deliver. So all in all, the point is to compile all the information that I've got from the research and then compile them into the different sections so that it's much more easier for me to design later on. And at this point, the content in here is already the blueprint for our design, because now you're not blank and thinking about how to design and what to design, because you already have the blueprint from the copywriting itself. And once the client approves of the copy, we move on to our next step, which is the final step, the design and development process. And here's basically where the magic happens. Once I'm done with the copy, I go ahead to the design phase, and usually here I use either Figma or Framer depending on what the client needs. Or sometimes the client wants me to use Webflow. In that case, I will design using Figma, and from that design, I just literally transfer that design into Webflow. But nowadays, I literally just skip Figma entirely, because sometimes when my clients want me to develop the website in Framer, I can literally design and develop the landing page directly in Framer itself, just like this one. For this example, my client actually want me to develop it in Framer. In that case, I skip Figma and then directly just design it in here on Framer itself. It is fast, flexible, and just easy to design. And now, since 80% of the work is already done on the copywriting stage, all I need to do is basically design each section on Framer itself. Now for this example, you can see here now we have our hero banner with the with the headline, the sub headline, our CTA, and also our testimonials here, and also the video sales letter as well. And then now we have the different logos in here. We have our success stories that we had previously on our copywriting stage, right? And then moving on, this is the problem section. You can see here we select the three different problems. We got the solution as well alongside with the benefits, and then this is the experience section that I talk about, with 100 plus clients, 1000 plus sales calls booked, our testimonials, and then also the process section. So it's so much more easier now to design this whole landing page because you already got 80% of the work done from the copywriting itself. And once I've designed all these different sections in the landing page, I like to add a bit of spice to it by adding some extra animations to the landing page so that it will look more polished, more modern, and all these components and elements combined will make your brand much more professional and therefore increasing your conversion rate. For example, in this case, let's say we play this. As you can see here, the different animation going on. As we scroll down here as well, we have the different animations. You can see here it makes it much more, professional, much more polished, and it will actually give a positive first impression for your for your audience. When they first come to your landing page, they can tell, okay, this guy actually takes this seriously, and then you have that initial trust signal with your customers. And if you notice, not all of the copy that we made earlier actually made it to the final page. And honestly, that's totally fine. Sometimes during the copywriting process, you might want to overwrite a bit more on purpose so that you can pick out only the best and most relevant copy for your designs. So to recap, the 4 different processes that I use to create a high converting landing page is step 1, the discovery call, step 2, the research process, step 3, the copywriting process, and step 4, the design and development process. Now I understand all of these are actually simple processes, but it's not very easy to go through with. There's actually a lot of work behind the scenes just to create a single landing page. And that's where I come in. If you're a startup founder or an agency owner that's looking for a professional to build you a high converting landing page, simply book a call with me. The link for that will be in the description. And with that said, knowing all these processes is not enough if you don't understand the exact steps to optimize your landing page. I created a 35 minutes video covering all that in much more detail. Just simply click on this and I'll see you there.